Welcome to Black Background Lectures. At 25 years old, Jim Rohn sat alone in his small house in Idaho, discouraged, embarrassed, and completely out of answers. The bills were overdue. The promises he had made to his young wife were still unkept, and the future looked like nothing more than an endless repeat of the same tired days. In that quiet moment of desperation, he took out a single sheet of paper and wrote 7 words that would quietly rewrite his entire life. If today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am planning to do today? He stared at those words for a long time. Then he made a decision. He would begin asking himself that question every single morning, and he would answer it with brutal honesty. Whenever the honest answer was no, for too many days in a row, 3 or 4 at the most, he would change something immediately. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more slow drift. That was the pact he made with himself that night, and he kept it for the rest of his life. Let me show you how powerful this simple practice really is. Most people never ask the question at all. They wake up, follow the same routine, spend the same hours, talk to the same people, and wonder why nothing ever improves. But once Jim began answering this question every day, everything started to shift. First, he noticed how many evenings he was planning to waste in front of mindless television, shows he didn't even enjoy, simply because it was easier than thinking. He asked the question. The answer was no, so the television stayed off. Next, he noticed how many hours he was planning to give to negative, small-minded conversations that left him drained and smaller than when he arrived. He asked the question. The answer was no, so he politely, quietly began removing himself from those circles. Then he noticed how many invitations he was planning to accept out of guilt or habit, invitations that would cost him an entire afternoon or an entire weekend with nothing to show for it except exhaustion. He asked the question. The answer was no, so he started saying no, kindly but firmly. He stopped majoring in minor things. He stopped filling his days with busy work that felt productive but produced nothing of lasting value. Instead, he began investing his hours the way a wise investor guards capital, carefully, deliberately, always looking for the highest possible return. He read books that stretched his mind. He sought out mentors who had already accomplished what he wanted. He worked on his philosophy, his attitude, his skills, because he now understood that a person's income and life rarely exceed their personal development. 5 short years later, at age 31, Jim Rohn was a millionaire. Not because he found a lucky stock tip, not because he inherited money, not because he worked 18-hour days. He simply stopped spending his hours on things that would embarrass him if today were his last. That is the entire secret. Most of us treat our days as if we have an unlimited supply. We postpone the important book. We delay the difficult conversation. We put off learning the skill, starting the project, making the apology, taking the walk, writing the letter. We act as if tomorrow is guaranteed to arrive, and arrive healthy and arrive patient. But tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone. Every day that passes is a day you will never hold again. And yet we spend those days so casually, so carelessly, as if they were renewable. They are not. The question Jim wrote down that night is uncomfortable because it forces you to confront how you are actually living. Most people avoid it for that very reason. But if you have the courage to ask it, and the honesty to answer it, and the discipline to act on the answer, it becomes the most powerful tool you will ever own. Here is how to use it. Tonight, before you go to sleep, take out a small card or a piece of paper and write the question in your own hand. If today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am planning to do tomorrow? Put it where you will see it first thing in the morning. Then ask it, and listen carefully to the answer. If the answer is yes, you are living well, proceed with gratitude. If the answer is no, change tomorrow before it begins. Cancel the meaningless appointment, turn off the show, close the app. Pick up the book, make the call, take the walk. Do the thing you have been postponing, do it tomorrow, and then ask the question again the next day and the next. 3 no's in a row is the signal. Something has to change now, not next week, not next month now. That is how a life is transformed, one honest day at a time. Jim Rohn used this question for more than 40 years. He credited it with every dollar he earned, every country he visited, every life he was able to touch. All because one evening, in the depth of discouragement, he finally decided to treat his time as the rarest, most irreplaceable resource on earth. You can begin tonight. That is today's lecture. If you want tomorrow's lecture, subscribe. See you then.